35 years in the making.
Welcome on board the Rivalry line. Today we're going to take you on a journey through one of British boxing's most fiercest rivalries.
I personally do hate him.
A saga so fierce, it's now part of British culture itself. Each stop tells a story.
I just want to try it. I just want to see what it's about.
Each station carries its own bit of history.
His dad don't even like him.
All lines lead to one final destination, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, November 15th, live exclusively on DAZN. Let's go back to 1990, NEC Arena, Birmingham. Let me give you a bit of context here. Nigel Benn was the champion, only lost once, and that was to Michael Watson. Went to America, beat Doug DeWitt, beat Iron Barkley, became the WBO champion. And then there was a guy called Chris Eubank, arrogant some said, calling him out, wanted to fight all the time. They said that Nigel Benn avoided him. Nigel Benn said, let's get it on. And this is where it all began.
This is why I shall take you out on the night of the 18th of November. You are mine, you belong to me. I am the man.
Boxer versus puncher, they said. In the end, Chris Eubank was both the boxer and the puncher. Stopped Nigel Benn in the 9th round and became a champion. Little did he know he was about to start a rivalry that would go on 35 years. Now, after the epic encounter the first time round, we had to see it again. The British public demanded it. Nigel Benn demanded it, and we got it as well. But this time, so much bigger, so much bolder. No longer an arena, we went to Old Trafford. 50,000 plus packed into the stadium in 1993. Millions watching it at home. But the fighters were slightly different. This time it was a super middleweight contest. Champion versus champion. Nigel Benn was the WBC champion, Chris Eubank Sr. the WBO champion. Let me tell you something though, 32 years on and people still not happy about the score. It was a controversial draw.
Come on, mate. Ben won that fight fair and square.
Oh, the judges had it the way the judges had it. It's not my fault. This is boxing. These things happen.
I don't think you're going to be hard enough.
I just want to try it. I just want to see what it's about. If my dad can do it, why can't I do it?
Earlier on in his career, Chris used to beg his dad to fight. Let me fight, Dad. And Chris Eubank Sr. was always like, no. And then he got his wish.
What do you say?
I just want to try it.
It's a really, okay. I'll let you try. All you've got to do is tell me the word. If you tell me, I'll help you. Okay?
Dad, I've already said yes. I'm saying if you say yes or no. I want to do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Move. Maybe there's another... No. Let's just put it this way. Now there's one to watch. He'll be one to watch.
Chris Eubank Jr. This is the full assault from Eubank.
Touches Eubank, so it's a mismatch. But this is a young man really on the rise.
2011, Chris Eubank Jr. made his debut. And yes, we got simply the best. And yes, he flipped over the ropes. But now, it was time for him to separate himself from his dad. Carve out his own name, his own story. Half of the rivalry had just begun. So 5 years after Chris Eubank Jr. had flipped the rope and made his debut, a young man by the name of Conor Benn had made his way from Australia to England. He made his pro debut. 2016, the son of the Dark Destroyer, started his own path. He even got the name Destroyer on his back. Surely we weren't going to get what we thought we were going to get. Eubank versus Benn, Chapter 2. Yeah, this is where Part 2 of the rivalry really started.
Now approaching, Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. 2022.
We wanted to come here today and formally announce that Chris Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn has been officially postponed.
Come on, every line has its delays. Not every stop arrives on schedule. But this story is far from over. Finally, we're here. After all of you lot thinking it wasn't gonna happen, it does happen. The first press conference, I was there.
Whoa. Ade, let me take it from here, eh? Because it wasn't just a rivalry. It was a family rivalry.
Conor, how many eggs did you have to eat to fail those two drugs tests?
Number one, I've been cleared. Two, you will never be cleared of being a You know what? Listen, Chris can say what he wants. The bottom line is, his dad don't even like him. You could not pay that man enough money to sit in this man's corner. Now that's an accomplishment, Chris. That's an accomplishment. Well done. The most unlikable geezer on the planet. Even your dad don't like you.
You could sense the hate. You could sense the violence on that stage. And Eubank, well, he promised us something, but we had no idea what it was.
Billy Big over here.
No, I just find it funny your name.
What did you find funny?
Yeah, it's hilarious. There's only usually taking this fight.
What are you saying?
There's only usually taking this fight.
It was chaos, it was confusion, there was violence, there were bodies all over the place. And round the back of the crowd, Nigel Benn, Conor Benn's dad, grabbed hold of Chris Eubank, the kid, by the throat. No scene, no sight of Eubank Sr. Unheard of at that time. He was gone. What was he thinking when he saw his son being grabbed round the throat by his rival?
Let's get this party started!
I can't believe we're here, but we made it. April 26, 2025. I remember it like it was yesterday, because it felt like that. The two sons finally about to get it on. 35 years after their dads threw hands, Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn were about to go to war. 65,000 people, including me, making my way to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Maybe the stars of the show weren't the sons, weren't Ben Shalom, weren't Eddie Hearn, weren't even Nigel.
Have a look at this. He's here. And the crowd are going wild. Father and son reunited. Simply the best. And that is the picture of the year so far. Absolutely brilliant.
We didn't expect him to come, or did we? It was almost like a WrestleMania movie with him, isn't it? I didn't know what to expect, but when he turned up, the crowd went crazy. But anyway, let me tell you how it all played out. So the ring walks, oh my God, I've seen some ring walks, but the two fathers with the two sons, it just touched on the heartstrings. I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know who I wanted to win. That's how much this gripped me. It gripped everyone. Everyone was crazy. And then they did the stare downs. Firstly, it told you the size difference. Eubank's a big boy, but Conor has a lot of that, a lot of heart, and that made up for the size difference. Because when they started swinging, oh, did these boys start swinging. I remember thinking, surely this type of energy isn't gonna last more than a couple of rounds. It did. Round one, bang, bang, chins getting tested, bodies getting tested, and the rounds went on and on. You know what's crazy? The rounds went so quick. Sign of a good fight. They kept on going and going and going. Right hands, no jabs. Right hands, no jabs. Body shots, uppercuts, right hooks, the lock. It went on and on and on. People are looking at each other like, surely one of these boys are gonna go down. This is Eubank versus Benn. Neither of these boys were gonna go down.
Not miss with that left to the bottom. Oh, left to the big shots from Conor Benn here. Eubank felt that.
This might be the best fight I've ever seen live. That's how crazy it was. And then it went to 12, and both of them got off the stool knowing either one could win. They knew how important this was. Why? because this is Benn versus Eubank. This is 35 years of drama. They're not just doing it for themselves, they're doing it for their dads, they're doing it for their families, and boy, did they not disappoint.
There's going to be everyone on their feet in this Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, applauding the bravery, the savagery, the intensity of Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn.
Unanimous decision. Chris Eubank.
Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right, but I really know nothing about what you need me to say. Same every day, feelings and pain. Everyone said that I better do something. You are no good to me.
In the end, Eubank nicked it. But the good thing about boxing, if it's so good, you can do it again. All right, here we go. Nearly at the final stop, the final destination. Maybe these kids could get it on again. But look, the presser's done. Exciting, energetic. Chris Eubank Jr. playing Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn almost trying to play the people's champion. All the training's been done. All the sit-ups you can do have been done. It's time for these boys to get it on again. This one isn't round 1, no. This is round 13. These boys will finish what they started at the same venue. It's gonna be loud. In fact, it's gonna be louder, I think, because now we have an expectation. We know what they can do. And boy, oh boy, these boys can deliver. And they will deliver. November 15th, live on DAZN, exclusively, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn 2. Should be a good one.